What's going on, people? My name is UX Crypto, and I hope all of you are doing well out there today. So today I'm going to be showing you a really cool, well, not even one project. I'm going to show you 3 projects. All right, so some 3 good projects which are all based in mobile gaming, right? So obviously there's loads of different games and game types out there, but this is specifically for mobile gaming. And you might be wondering to yourself, why do you want to care about that? Well, I'm going to show you why I should care about that. But just before I do, what is up, Lillian? Okay, keep saying your name wrong every time you're on the stream, but I think I've got it right now. Okay, so yeah, good to see you in the house. But let's get into the content. So let's do it real quick. So just before I do that, I'm going to explain to you exactly what this is all about. All right, so why do you want to care about mobile gaming, right? Just before I show you the coins, I'm telling you why I should care. So this is the market for 2023 for gaming. You've got browser PC games, you've got downloaded box games, you've got console games, and you've got mobile games, right? And mobile games is literally the biggest market, all right? 92 billion in 2023 was spent, and this was from July 2023 data, but a lot of money spent, and it's the biggest market. And a lot of the games we actually look at in crypto is actually only 1% of the market half the time, or 20%. So my point is there's a massive opportunity here, right? A lot of people are missing. Okay, so with that point, what is going to be the first coin I'm going to talk about? This is not on any what's it called, chronological order, right? It is literally just showing you some gems. All right, so if you're ready for that, then let's get into it real quick. So the first one is Playzap. Okay, maybe you've heard of Playzap, maybe you haven't. I assume if you're in part of my audience, you've probably heard of it. But is it an opportunity zone right now? I think it is. Okay, so look at the price. It's going down a bit now, which is absolutely good to see, because you can get in at low prices. Currently, it has a market cap of 12 million right here, or 12.6 million. So yeah, opportunity is here, and supply 25 out currently as being self-reported supply at 32 cents as well, so pretty cheap right here, so not bad. But Playzap is pretty interesting and quite a good project. So just from looking at the website and stuff, you can see some of the type of quality of games they might have. Slow, one sec. So very slow. All right, we're going to come off that. Okay, so anyway, you've probably seen that anyway, the actual whole website for it. But we have to look at what's behind the curtains. So obviously, they have got really good games, mobile games at that, and I can show you that in a minute. But team is someone we want to obviously concentrate on and look at the actual quality of the game, right? So that is stuff like these guys right here. So when you look at teams, right, you want to look at the movers and the shakers. You don't necessarily want to look at employees, because employees move all the time, especially in tech. People might last only 6 months in a contract or whatever it is, right? So if everyone's just pointing out like, oh, this person hired this person, it's like, unless they're integral, like a co-founder or a CTO or something like that, then that is the main thing you want to be worried about. So these guys, for example, these two, which I can show you, these two are the ones you want to care about, right, inside of this project. So just by looking at that real quick, so we've got this guy right here, and yeah, look at his experience. So he was part of a company called Piper Play, right? I think it's as present. So I'm pretty sure Playzap is part of that, right? Because you can see the same time. So Piper Play is basically the team behind it, right? So the actual incubator for it. And then you've also got like mini clip there, right? So it's really good. He's got good experience. So overall, pretty good, right? And then we've got the next guy, and he is the CEO. And you can see that he's also part of Piper Play. So they've started these companies together, right? Which is pretty good. And they've been in a couple of same companies already. So pretty cool, pretty interesting to see, right? So in terms of experience, got it on Smash quite a lot, right? But then we want to look at also the product a little bit. So for example, Playzap and their product has 100,000 downloads. You can see that here. 4.7 on the reviews, and 2.45k reviews. So that's pretty good. And just having a little look at general, like, so if you look at this, you can see majority of them are positive. You've got a couple of negative as well, but everyone has a negative. But you can say, look, this is a negative. So copy and paste games. They use bots to drain PZP. Same top 10 over and over. I mean, this is just stuff that can be worked out, right? But yeah, interesting to read. You should read it, read positive and negatives. That's how you weigh decisions up to whether you're getting into potentially a good project, right? But yeah, PZP. But where could we see PZP go, right? Like what could be our targets? So, if you see my channel before, I use benchmarks, and my benchmark that I'm going to show you is Gala. Okay. So reason I'm using Gala, obviously in the last run, it did pretty good. And we could look at specific targets, okay, to where PZP could go. And just remember the chart I showed you originally in the beginning. So Gala would fall inside of this category right here. Okay, that's where it's only 21% of the market, and we've got a bigger market. So even trying to get to Gala's market cap right now, I think the market is there for it. It's for the taking. It's a bigger market, right? So we are currently with Gala at 853 million, and at all-time high, right? We got to 5.2 billion. Okay, so could see that type of money flow through Playzap, right? So let's have a little look at what could happen if that did happen. All right, so if we was to get to Gala's market cap right now, we'd get 68x, right? It's not including dilution, because obviously we've got to wait a while for the bull market to fully kick in, but that's pretty damn good. All right, and if he was at an all-time high at the 5.2 billion, then swipe right, then here you go. All right, you still got a lot of gains out of this coin. What could be had, because obviously the market cap is like around about 10 million. So yeah, there's a lot of potential, but not including dilution. If you wanted to get more realistic, you could get more realistic without dilution, and it'll give you a more accurate number. But yeah, you can definitely see, regardless, there's a lot of gains to be had inside of this project still, right? So yeah, so that's Playzap. All right, so what is number two? Where am I going with number two? So number two, I'm going for OCTA. All right, so just full disclosure, some of these coins I own, some of them I don't. All right, and there's reasons for why I do and why I don't, and obviously I can talk to you at the end about that. Okay, so OCTA Gaming, so OTK, as similar market cap. All right, so 11 million. All right, so it had a recent pump actually. So this coin was like I think a 1 million market cap at one point for a long time. Obviously, recently getting a lot of hype around it. And yeah, so obviously it is built on Solana. That's the only thing. So obviously, if you watched my channel before, I'm not that bullish on Solana, but that's fine, because at the end of the day, sure, it will still have a pump as long as Solana doesn't go down and do anything not so good, then it will be a safe bet. But obviously you're relying on that tech to work out for you. Okay, so that's just a word of warning from this one, right? But still, regardless of that, it is actually quite a good product. All right, so just to show you here, so yeah, you get rewards playing games, and if you have seen this project before, you can just check out the website and have a little look. But yeah, it's literally doing mobile games, which obviously we love, right? And you can see that they are also on Apple App Store and Google Play, and same as Playzap. So covering mobile bases. So very, very good. And some of the games you can see here. But let's actually just go into overall team and all that stuff, right? So they don't actually document the team on here, but you can find them on LinkedIn, right? So just to show you a little bit about that, let's go into that a little bit. So you got here is, I think I had another co-founder linked up somewhere. Actually, is it here? Yeah, here you go. So you got a co-founder, all right, and he is obviously full-time, and then you've got him doing other experience before, and it was an e-commerce, all right, and then you got something in sports that he was part of, and he was doing media as well. So in terms of gaming, like he's got some, well, he hasn't got gaming experience, but he's got like tech experience, so that's not too bad actually, right? And then we've got the other founder right here, and then he is obviously full-time, which is great to see. And then he was a junior analyst before that, and I think they're both based in France. Okay, but yeah, I wouldn't say he's got the greatest experience. He's got okay experience, but he's a lot of junior roles, right? So you can see that, look, junior finance manager, you can see junior analyst. So going straight into a co-founder is quite a jump, right? But I mean, these are just things you might want to consider, like when you're reviewing, can people pull things off, can they not, like that type of thing. But talking about pulling off, they really kind of have, right? The same with Playzap, they got 100,000 downloads, but with this one, right, read it and weep. Okay, you got 1 million downloads, so they're doing pretty good. All right, and that is just on the Android app store, right? And then you got 4.4 rating, 55,000 downloads, So that's, oh sorry, 55,000 reviews. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, so you can obviously do the same thing we did the other one. Look at, you know, the overall reviews. Got some good ones and obviously some mid-level ones where I like it, but at the same time I don't like it. It's styles and levels system. The games are okay, right? And I kind of agree with some of that. Like for this project, it's quite basic games. I think a lot of people have reviewed this as, you know, they're probably saying the same thing to you. Very basic games, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter with mobile gaming, right? Because a lot of this generation, the I don't know what you want generation you want to call it, right? But they're very much like simple games and just repetitive games, right? Like obviously gone are the days of, I don't know how, what age you are, but if you're like mid 30s or 40s, when you're gonna play some really in-depth games, very hard to play, you know, we used to play GTA and then be like up, down, left, right, R1, R1 to get cheat codes, right? So those days are kind of gone, right? For that, so it's very much a simple game type. So mobile gaming could definitely appeal to more masses from that, right? So yeah, definitely something to think about with Octa Gaming. And if you just want to quickly compare the reviews, so we've got a 4.4 here for Octa Gaming, and then for Playzap we have 4.7. All right, so you can see that Playzap technically is got less reviews, but you know, up at the moment. So that's pretty good to know, just from a product standpoint. So you know, talking about Octa Gaming, where do we think that can go? All right, so forgetting about the PZP now, we're going to go down. All right. So Octa Gaming. And if you was to get to Gala's market cap, all right, then you would get 74x from it. Okay. So that's pretty cool. You can actually get to that. Obviously, not including dilution. All right. So something to consider with that, but still a lot of gains to be had out of this for the bull market. And if you was to get to the all-time high of Gala, where would you go? You could literally 430x, which is actually pretty damn crazy, right? So yeah, that's the target. Obviously not including dilution again, but you could do very well. Whether you think it could just do 100x, 150x, either way, that's crazy gains. All right. So, you know, very, very cool. And yeah, so where are we going next though? So that was number 2. And we have got to show you number 3. So number 3 is going to be, one second, where have we gone? It is Game right here. Okay, so Game, if you haven't heard about it, I actually did a live stream yesterday with Cypriel and I showed him it as well. And I'm quite bullish on this coin, and it is a little bit of a higher market cap, so it's like 24 million. All right, but still a really, really low cap gem, right? And also, yeah, 3 cents. Okay, so obviously looking nice. And then in terms of circulating supply, they are not showing it, but I'm pretty sure that it's what, I don't even know what that is. I think it's like 20% or something like that, right? I think. But yeah, something to look at right there. And obviously had a little bit of a pump as of recent times. But yeah, a really cool project, and I'll quickly show you if you've not seen it before. So this is Game right here, okay? And you've got connecting loads of Web3 brands and Web3 projects through Play, okay? So very cool. And you can see this right here. Look, Polygon, Binance, Sandbox, NASA, and MOA Brands, all big partners inside of here. So out of the other 2, the brands, if you want partnerships, it's right here, man. All right. And also, you know, in terms of other sides of gaming, Telegram gaming is getting bigger and bigger, and they actually got 200 million monthly gameplays on Telegram already. Okay, but you know, that's not all of it. They've got 50 million registered players. Very cool. 60 games, big already, right? And obviously that's not just it. We've got an App Store and Google Play, so you've got that. You can see the quality is very good as well in these games. So very, very cool. And it's called Arc 8 Beast. That's the actual app that they have. And yeah, lots of really cool stuff. So for example, cooperating with global brands. All right. You might be like, what the hell? They got Man City, NASA, and all of this stuff, right? Which is pretty damn crazy, right? But it all does link in. All right. So you've got Man City, and I actually looked at this. So they've actually done like a white label app for a lot of these brands. So basically Man City have a football app, but Game built it, right? So very cool. They've got a lot of connections right there. And you know, very, very cool, and lots to show. Okay, so stuff I will show you. Here you go. Here's the Man City thing I told you about. So look, partnership with them. All right, so they've actually made this game with them. And you know, cool stuff like this. Advisors, all right, big boy advisors in this. So you've got MOA Brands as an advisor, you've got Sandbox as an advisor, Yeah, very cool. And you've got the team right here. So, seeing as I showed you the teams first on that, I'm going to show you the team here as well. Okay. So here we go. We've got three co-founders, which I showed you. So this is the CTO. And then also, look, some of his experience. So working as the CTO on Game. And yeah, he did something before called Clevio, and it's specialized in iOS and Android development. So obviously, if you want someone to pull something off for iOS and Android, then this could be a good play for you, right? Because he's got some experience with that. And then also, look, he was part of the same company, Clevio, and he was a shareholder, an ex-CPO, another company called Spendy, and then now in games. But he's been doing game for a long time. Look, 9 years, right? So, and if you're not reading this, this is where all this links in, and this is why I'm very bullish on this. So, Game has been acquired by MOA Brands, all right? So, obviously, the team's dope, but it's been acquired by a beast, all right? So, you got that backing by a really big company. Very, very cool. Also, this girl right here, the co-founder of Game, she's amazing experience, all right? So, brand product Activision leader at Google. So very, very good experience. Yeah. So in terms of teams, out of the bunch, I would say this is pretty good. All right. So definitely something to think about right there. But in terms of like Game, the actual product. So you've got 1 million downloads already on the Game product. So very cool. 4.3 in terms of ratings right here, and then 110k reviews, or a lot of reviews, right? So very interesting. And in terms of reading them, so you've got, look, majority of being a 5-star, and then a couple of different ones. But the first one we can see right here is, I can't hold it anymore. I've been a long time player and a fan of Game and Arc 8, like the game's variety, overall concept, spending more time than I should be on the app, but the playing field is no longer a level. Okay, so yeah, something specific to them, right? But yeah, obviously you're seeing some negatives as well as positives. But yeah, stuff to think about, good stuff to read if you're looking to obviously get into the project, right? Do your research on it. But if we're going to just compare real quick, right? So we've got 4.3 stars on Game, all right, and then we have OCTA at 4.4 stars, right? And then we have Playzap at 4.7. So out of the reviews, 4.7. So Playzap is actually potentially the better reviewed product, right? But is there a lot more potential rather than just people playing it? Obviously, we're on crypto, we're here trying to make gains. So, pretty cool stuff right there. But yeah, that is some of the stuff around that. I think I've got more stuff to show you around this as well. So MOA Brands obviously is a very big company. If you don't know what that is, I'll quickly show you. MOA Brands, and they obviously own Game right now because they acquired them. So if we go to products, you can actually see they've got blockchain products as well as primary game products. So if we just look at blockchain products, for example, we'll see type of things they own. So we've got a couple of different games here, and you can obviously check these out. And Sandbox is something they own as well. So Sandbox is massive, big, one of the biggest games of the last cycle. So you've got good investors behind this, which could do very, very well, right? And obviously here you go. Look, Arc 8 is on the website, and that is very, very cool. And then if you will just go back out, and we can show you some of the normal like Web 2 brands that they have. So let's quickly show you that. So look, they've got Burnout, which is a really cool game back in the day. And then you have where are these other ones? Power Rangers, so big brand, right? They've also got another Power Rangers game. WWE, all right. Big brands, Adam's Family, and then this is where the Game app originally was from, so they acquired it at that point. So very cool, man. Very, very cool, right? But where do we think that Game could go? Could it go like pretty far? So that's where we're going to go next, man. Have a little look at that. So Game, if you was to get to Gala's market cap, because obviously it's a little bit higher, it's 24 million, you could 36x from where it is at this current moment, right? But if we go down to the all-time high right now, right, then you're talking about 207x. All right, so very, very cool. Okay, so in terms of it doing these things and obviously achieving what I'm showing you, let me zoom out and you can see all of these things that maybe something could happen with. So you're gonna automatically be like, okay, 430x, right? Because you're like, oh, it's the biggest gainer, right? Potentially, right? But that all comes down to the word potentially. All right. So, and I'm going to bring you back to some of the other chart that I showed you previously, and it's all to do with risk and reward. All right. So this brings in this lower risk and then higher reward. Obviously, risking your bets. Obviously, ignore these actual coins specifically, but this is, for example, these ones are like 400s to 1,000 X's, or you could even put 100 X's. So they're around this area here, right? So they're high risk. But then, you need confidence that they're going to be able to pull things off, like, and keep building throughout the next 2 years of the bull market, right? So that brings me to, going back to where we was at. Whoa, what is risky and what's not. So, for example, one person just mentioned, I think, what is this? Okay, so I think you've mentioned this, Zitzat. So I'm not the biggest fan of Sol either. Blockchain outages, centralized, etc. But once you remove emotion from the equation, it's smart to not skip over it. OTK sounds juicy. Yeah, cool. So this is something I want to talk about as well, actually. So great comment, by the way. Thank you for saying that. But yeah, OTK, it does look good, but I get what you're saying. So it's like, okay, once you remove your emotion from it. So this is what I mean. So there is risks with Solana, of course, because it's involved in a lot of things. Like, obviously, centralized inside of crypto doesn't really play out much well, especially in my time in crypto. It allows for exploits, hacks, all these type of things, and that could be the end of your projects by being centralized, right? Also, very much linked to FTX still. So they're having unlocks until 2028. There's going to be a lot of unlocks in the beginning of 2025. So, and that's FTX unlocking Solana, right? And that means that, they're going to dump on the market in the middle of the bull run, right? So that's stuff that I'm paying attention to. And obviously the outages, like you mentioned there. So that applies a risk to OTK, right? From my perspective. And out of these coins, I don't own OTK for those reasons, but I understand what you're saying. There's a lot of hype around OTK as well. So, you might want to pay attention to that, and obviously hype around Solana as well. But, there's a lot of things what got hype in the last cycle, what basically all went to zero as well. There's Celsius, there's BlockFi, FTX, all had hype, everyone promoting them, right? Celebrities promoting all these things, and it still went to zero, right? And it was a rug pull, a lot of them, right? So I'm just saying it, just because it's hype doesn't mean that is the fundamentals of the project. I just think look at the fundamentals. But either way, I'm waffling on, okay? So all I'm saying to you is this is about confidence, right? Where do you see it? So for example, if you're going to measure this based on product, then Playzap might be your answer, because in terms of reviews, Playzap got the highest reviews in terms of the actual products, right? But we're not going to necessarily base it off that. We're going to base it off many different factors. And also, you've got GAMEE. So GAMEE has big partners. It has, amazing team been acquired, right? But there's disadvantages of GAMEE. For example, it's been through a cycle already. So, some people might look at that as not a good thing. So there's something I want to consider. These two haven't been through a cycle, so they might potentially get more, like, bigger gains in it, right? So, but on the other side, there's dilution, right? And this is going to have more dilution already happen to it because it's already been through a cycle, and these are going to have more of dilution happen. So these achievements might be harder for it to happen. So this is what I mean. The scale of risk and reward, right, goes up and down and up and down. You need to weigh that up, right? So which ones you think are better? I think all of them personally are good. I would potentially, if I want to take a risk, I would hold all of them. Okay, so I wouldn't tell you to not hold just because it's on Solana. Just got to weigh that into your equation, right? But yeah, some cool stuff to think about. But I just showed you some things. The way I actually review coins, you actually want to know how I review them, right? I have a cheat sheet based on Moneyball, the movie. I'm not going to show you the trailer, don't worry. But I'm going to show you how I actually review them. So I have a scoring system, and I base them off these 7 elements. So I do the team and advisors, the partners, the idea, the website, the product, the socials, and the coin utility. And I actually have scores for all of these coins right here. And I know, and all my Patreons know, which ones actually score the best, right? Which ones are overall, I think, is going to be achieving these type of gains, right? Some of these, I can do these predictions for you. It doesn't mean they're going to actually achieve them, because fundamentals are the things what basically make it happen, right? So, but yeah, so if you actually are interested in seeing that, a little bit about that, I'll quickly show you. So here is actually my cheat sheet, and as you can see, OCTA is in there, and I've got a whole bunch. There's 108 coins in here, and they've all got scores. All right, and we've got a really good community in here. And let me just move your comment, mate. Yeah. So yeah, loads and loads of coins in here, and you can literally benchmark different coins against each other to find out what the best fundamentals are. I've gone full in deep mode in terms of research. That's what I do. So I'm a UX researcher by trade / designer. And yeah, just utilizing my skills inside of crypto to make that happen for you. So if you want to join the Patreon, then yes, come and join. And there's a lot of stuff going on there, some really good calls, which people are saying inside of the Discord right now. So yeah, you can join it, business class tier, get the cheat sheet, shows you all the scores, the full strategy breakdown. You can literally find coins before I even review them. I've got buy signals when I'm accumulating, track my portfolio. So you want to know what I'm getting into. Very cool. And I could definitely have to say, so VIP Discord is very, very good. We've got in some really good calls inside of there, some great coins being suggested, and even lower market caps than these. So very, very tiny coins that you could potentially look at. Some very cool ones. So yeah, definitely check that out if you want to, level up on that, right? So other things, let's go to your actual comments. Let's see how everyone is today and what you guys are saying. And yeah, I hope all of you are good. So yeah, so can you check GGG and Rain? So yeah, I've actually checked both of these. So Rainmaker is Rain, right? And GGG is Good Games Guild. All right. So Good Games Guild, it's okay, right? I'm not going to tell you all the scores and all that. You should get the cheat sheet. You can check out both of those on there. But yeah, both projects, if I was going to rank them, I'll put Rain on top of GGG, right? I know there's other people who rate that and more from the tokenomics side. And I think if you're only going to look at tokenomics, then you're kind of missing the point of how crypto works, because we as crypto investors, we look at that as well, but we are literally the early adopters, and people who come into crypto, like for example, your mum, your dad, your granddad, they all come in later, right? Do you think they know anything about tokenomics? And that's my point. So in terms of what they're going to look at, they're going to look at the product, they're going to look at the site, they're going to look at many different things like that, right? So yeah, definitely something to think about from those. But yeah, if I'm going to rank them, Rain on top, man. And yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, 3K subs. Congratulations. I know I made it today. Thank you so much, man. And yeah, I really appreciate all your help getting me there. And yeah, very thankful to be able to hit that. I started my channel 1 year ago, literally a couple of days ago, right? So I've done 3K in 1 year. Obviously, I know there's people who have absolutely smashed it. They're way more than me. But you know what? Each journey is their own. And when I started this channel, I literally did a New Year's resolution list on Christmas, or sorry, for New Year. And I put, I want to get monetized. So monetize on YouTube is 1,000 subscribers and watch hours as well. But I have 3 times it. So I'm pretty happy about that. So yeah, thank you so much, man. And yeah, thanks so much all you guys for subscribing, by the way. And yeah, so yeah, Ted Cash, one of my Patreons as well. And he said, yeah, smash the like button, man. And yeah, definitely do that. Thank you so much for all joining and obviously giving me the love out here. I really appreciate it. And yeah, Don the Don, I see you out here, man. Don the Don's got some great picks, man. So, if you see him in my stream or anyone else's stream and he says something, I would say check it out because he's got some really good ones. So yeah, shout out to you, Don the Don. And what else we got here, man? So we got HXD mobile game on Solana. Let's check it out, man. Why not? You're giving me a suggestion. And just before we do that, though, is so Lit Labs. Yeah, Lit Labs is dope, man. But obviously, it's not necessarily mobile only, right? Or I don't think it's even mobile, right? So it's more a desktop game. This is just for mobile today. But yeah, it's still a very good project as well. So yeah. And I don't know if you're saying hello or you're saying hello labs, but hello labs is good as well. But yeah, let's quickly go into what you said, G Money, HXD. So let's check that out real quick. So HXD coin. So Honeyland, is that? Yeah, I think. So you got 25 million market cap. If this is the project, it's all based on Solana. I think it is. So we can just quickly check it out. Okay, nice little looks right there. It's like about bees join the honey rush. So yeah, some pretty cool stuff. Graphics look pretty decent as well. Not bad. Let's have a look. So you've got Honeyland partners. So you've got a couple of different partners here. Samsung, pretty cool. Pretty cool. That's pretty good. Yeah, so literally, let's just look at what they got in terms of Google Play. If they got anything out. 50K downloads, not bad, not bad. Okay, so it's not bad. 4.7 as well. So yeah, this might be pretty good. It's quite an interesting one. But I mean, you're gonna have to think about Okay, so this is one game, right? I assume. And then you've got OTK, and there's the market cap right here, 25 million, right? And then you've got OTK, which is obviously based on Solana as well. And then that is 11 million, right? So kind of got to weigh that up, right? And you've got a lot of games and you have more downloads, right? So you've got 1 million downloads. So I would say if you're going to weigh them between each other, I would go for OTK, right? Even though I'm not a Solana bull or anything like that, I think OTK looks more promising in terms of value, right? What you're getting for your value, also like the narrative people looking at. So yeah, but yeah, very cool project as well. I wouldn't write it off. Okay, so still looks pretty decent. Something to think about. But yeah, thanks for showing it, man. Looks pretty interesting. Cool. All right. So if you guys have got no other questions, then yes, I will bid you all farewell. And I hope all of you guys are doing great out there. And obviously, you have a good end to your new year. I know I will be trying to have a good end. And yeah, many more things to come in the new year from myself. So definitely stay tuned. And yeah, thanks so much for 3K subscribers. Really appreciate that. And if I don't see you, though, I'll see you at the top. Oh, yeah. And also, link in the description for Patreon. So definitely join it. So, yes, on that note, peace.